Hello, Swivelheads. It's Greg Allison with Green Griggs. Swivelhead News, excuse me. I still got my Christmas hat on, but hey, it's ho-ho time. But we got something to talk about here. We got something very vital to talk about because we've been missing something really critical in our country. Somehow we have forgotten to tell our kids the importance of freedom. We've forgotten to tell our kids about the values that's in the systems that we've had in this country. So it is time to turn things around and teach real values to our young people. It is time that we take care of that. I'm gonna hang on a minute. We're just getting people in the chat room here. Tim Casper, how you doing? Halo. Merry Christmas to you. All right, Arnold, good to see you. Why? Great Atlanta, Sophia. All right, John. Well, we got 13 in here. So, folks, if you're just watching this and you're watching it, during the day, Tuesday, Wednesday, this is a live chat, and so I'm letting people come in the chat room before I continue my litany much further, because this is important what I'm saying here. What we're going to talk about is how our culture has been sold down the road toward communism, collectivism, how our children, our youth, have been taught that the very fabric of our society is wrong, how they've been taught that our freedoms are wrong. They've been taught freedom of speech is wrong. They've been taught all kind of buttons. So we've got to turn this around. They've been heavily indoctrinated. We know better. With great knowledge comes great responsibility. So we got to start taking these kids aside and talking to them. We got to bring them around. But this is deep. It's really, really deep. Jesse, how you doing there from snowy, cold northeast Arizona? So we got some snow and snowflake. We'll go look there in a little bit. We'll look on the weather thing in a minute. I'm only 33 and my children are taught to question questions. There you go. Perfect, Tim. And Tim, you are a star then. You get to go star 33 and you know better than this. Once you get out in the real world, look, guys, when I was in high school, man, I thought communism was great. I thought the big company, evil companies were just step on everybody, and capitalism was horrible, and free enterprise was bad. Communism, I was that way when I was in high school until I got about 10th grade. And I had a history teacher took me aside and really spent a little time teaching me the value of competitive society, how it serves the economy so much better, how it's so much more efficient. And he really convinced me of that part, but I still thought, well, okay, maybe that's true, but socialism is still the way to go. And then I got out and had to make a living for myself. And, I got married, bought a house trailer, worked in a cotton mill. Then I had to join the Army. And when I got in the Army, that's where I really saw how government worked from the inside. Oh, crap. This don't work. This don't work at all. This is a nightmare. Holy smoke. I'd been over in the private sector working where you really work. And then I went over to the Army, which is government sector. And it was like, oh my God, you got to be kidding me. When you're in the private sector and you go in a store, you're a customer. They want to serve you. When you're in the government side and you go in somewhere, you are a problem. They don't want to serve you because that you're being there means they got to do something. They ain't got to sell you something. They ain't gonna have to help you. They get paid whether they help you or not. There's no incentive for production, or when there is incentive, it's very little and it don't work. So that's part of the era. But I'm gonna share some stuff with you guys in a minute. It's gonna kind of blow your mind. So I remember, my wife was expecting a baby when I went in the Army. And we went through all these classes and they taught us, well, if you're spotting blood, get to the doctor immediately. So there was this woman come in. I'm in the Womack Army Hospital at Fort Bragg, North Carolina. And this woman comes in and she's spotting blood really heavy. And she's trying to get in to see a doctor, and all the medics, you didn't see nurses, you saw medics. All the medics, go home, you'll be okay, go home. And she was just like, no, I need to see a doctor. They were going, no, you don't, go home. They were arguing with it. And I'm going, holy smoke, this is nuts. And, you know, usually the doctors you got were the ones that couldn't make a living out on the outside. Ho, 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 granny. Ho, ho, ho. Ungrateful peasant. Hello. Well, I'll be peasants if the Klaus Schwab gets his way. But we hope we don't. Good to see you, Captain Trips. Just don't trip on the tripwire, my friends. We know what we're talking about, especially in, was it Matterman? They had a great gift. All right, so guys, let's talk it here. Let's get through it here. 22 degrees F, 5 inches of snow. Wow. It's not capitalism or commerce or fashion. It's the freedom of pursuit. Yeah. The most important thing is those freedoms, to cherish the freedoms that were given to us. And see, Arnold's in Canada, okay, but he's in Western Canada. Cherish those freedoms that's in the Bill of Rights. They're trying to take every one of those away from us. And they're trying to do it not through the process allowed in the Constitution for changing the Constitution, which is you have 2/3 state majority. They're just trying to legislate it little bit by little bit through the Congress and through consecutive orders. And none of that should be allowed. None of that should be illegal. And our Supreme Court in the past has been at fault for allowing that to happen. Maybe the new Supreme Court won't allow that so much. They're already turning some of that backwards. Hey, Matterman, how you doing? Scott? Let's see. I'll be dead if old Klaus gets his way. Yeah, well, we got to resist it, guys. That's why you got to go to our Freedom Restoration Foundation.org, and there's stuff in there telling you how to take action. You don't have to pay any money to join it. It's just a action resource with a lot of alerts put in there too. Go to and for survival, it's paid for by me. I paid for that website. And Wise Owl, who gave me some of these wonderful gifts here, who's not in the room tonight, she paid for out of her pocket the survivaltribenetwork.com, survivaltribenetwork.com, or freedomrestorationfoundation.org. Check those out. All right, we're going to share some stuff here, guys. Let's go into some articles. Ding, 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 ding. And people in the room that I can show you the shocking stuff. Now, Elon, you know, he's once he come up with Twitter and started blowing the lid on what's going on, the young people think he's terrible. He got booed off the stage at this comedian show where he used to go on, and they used to be fawing over him and welcome him. And, you know, they would foam into mouth clapping and loving him. Now they're booing him off the stage. And why is that? I floated up through Nels today. Everybody, I say, good night, everyone. All right, Delton. So now we're a little bit worried about some things Elon tries to come up with, like that brain chip. But, you know, he's done a really decent job with the Twitter. He does believe in freedom of speech, it seems. So he has really tried to get out there. He don't like people. He don't like the social media is meddled with the elections. And he's blowing the lid on. So, and because of that, they are after him. And the young people have been so sold into freedom of speech. It's terrible. It's terrible. How did that happen? How did that happen? Well, here is how that happened, guys. Ding, 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 ding. The Chinese Communist Party's alleged influence on college campuses explained. Well, how does that work? Well, it turns out that the CCP has gave billions of dollars to American universities. Why would they be funding our universities? So they can indoctrinate our people so that their potential greatest enemy in the world will have weak knees, weak legs, so that we will actually bend in supplication to them. And a lot of our young people are thinking that, you know, Chinese are great and communism is the way to go. I mean, I hear that from a lot of young people today. They really don't know what's going on. The influence of the Communist Party on campus. Yeah, guys, this is what we're talking about. So It's happened because they fund our universities. So one thing we ought to do is go to freedomrestorationfoundation.org and use the little, forget the alerts, there's not an alert for this. Go down to the Action Center page and look in there how to contact your Congress critters, your state legislators, and you call those guys up and say, hey, we need to disallow Chinese funding at our universities. Hit them up, smoke them, let them hear it, and let them hear it loud. So if God created us with the freedom to choose, then why do governments just up and decide what's best for you without your consent? Yeah, it's morally wrong. That's because this is how they take control, and they want more control, lots more control than what they got. That's what this boils down to. It's their ploy to control. Why do you think they want to take up your nugs? Because that's your last bastion of your defense against them, really. So that's what it boils down to, my friends. But if you really think communism is so great, you know, you always tell the kids, why is it that everybody's trying to like crazy to get out of communist countries, come to countries like this? But here's one that the teenagers might really identify with. North Korea publicly, I don't even want to say this loud, does this to 2 teenagers. And what was their great, awful crime of these 2 teenagers to cause them to be off? Well, they distributed South Korean movies. They got some South Korean movies and passed them around. So, you know, our young people think communism is going to allow them to sit on the sofa and play video games and not have to work. That's what they really believe. So they can spend their whole life sitting on the sofa playing video games and get everything they want handed to them and do anything they want to do. No, you won't do anything you want to do. It won't be handed to you. You'll be in a gulag just like the people in South Korea. And oh, by the way, you can't watch anything you want to in a communist country. In fact, the news media is totally controlled. So the only thing you're going to hear, hey, John, good to see you here. So I'm trying to explain to people, John, how the schools got hoodwinked, how billions of dollars was spent in the school systems by that ain't what I was going to do. Did I delete it? Or where'd I go? I just lost track. How, the school system, the colleges got billions of dollars in funding from the Chinese Communist Party, the CCP. So there's an vested interest to serve the CCP. And that's how come the kids are now booing Elon Musk off the stage, because they've been sold into it. That's why we got the president we got. That's why we got the Senate we got, is we have failed to communicate the travesties of communism, and the orders that you find over in North Korea and China. They need to see what's happening to the people over there and them protesting, lockdowns and all these things. They need to see how China treats their citizens, how North Korea treats their citizens. It's not a pretty picture, but they don't know all that. They think seriously they're going to be able to, yeah, you're right, public school corrupt. They seriously think that communism means they'll get to sit on the couch and play video games and not have to do anything, that everything will be handed to them. That's what they really think. It'll all be equal. Everything will be wonderful. There'll be roses and unicorns. And unicorns, yeah, well, I won't even say that. I'm grateful for a true liberation road, united front. Yeah. All right, guys. So we've got to communicate. We have the great knowledge that these kids are misled. So we got to communicate to them in a way to wake them up and get them turned around. And maybe this is one of the ways. Maybe how my high school history teacher, John Garner was his name, took me aside and explained to me the values of competition, of having incentives to produce, and how that produced economy, how you wouldn't have an economy without it. And what's happening today is our economy is falling apart. So, all right, in other news, I'll bring a few other news articles here. Yeah, don't forget Putin. You're right, man. All your autocrats, none of them want freedom of speech. China says it's moving to buying oil and gas in the yuan, which means Saudi Arabia will sell it in the yuan. We did a deal with Saudi Arabia a long time ago that gave the dollar the world reserve currency status, and our current POTUS has blown it. China has been on the U.S. campus for decades. They have, and they've been indoctrinating our students and the whole country. It's time to wake people up, adults and students. Some of them are young adults. They hadn't woke up yet. The students have got it worse. Animal House, all animals are equal. Just some are more equal than others. Yes, that's right, LS. That is so right. So, yeah, we've got to educate the young people of the perils that they're heading toward if they keep supporting this kind of stuff, and why freedom matters. I've done videos on freedom. I've done videos on why freedom matters. See, these guys that aren't for freedom, they underhandedly do things on platforms like Twitter. Now they've been caught. You know, they had a blacklist on Twitter. If you were a person of a certain political persuasion, which means not woke liberal, they put you on a blacklist and you wouldn't get stuff out. You couldn't get your topics to trend. You just get a few views. And we suspect this is happening on other social media sites too. History Today, talked by teachers, 95% have the first name Coach. Yeah, that means they don't know jack diddle about history. It's the ball. I know what the ball does. We know what the ball does. Well, what educational value you getting out of that? So anyway, you might teach a little physics with that, but not a whole lot. Unknown, they are afraid for their family. We got to wake them up. They're going to have to be really afraid for the family if the Chinese take over, guys. That's a scary prospect, something to be concerned about. So yeah, come over here to my Swivelhead News channel. Subscribe to this if you're not done so already. Let's see if it's got any new subscribers than that. Nope, no new ones yet. So come in here and you know, I'll be probably interviewing John and Doug and Mike Seabird in here. I got 3 people I want to interview, and I got another video too I want to cover in here. I got 3 people I want to specifically cover in this channel. Now, John can cover other stuff too. We don't always have to go in here, but we need to talk some testy topics, guys. And here's the channel once again. For those that did not see my last video, I'll be doing some live sessions on here from the flea market. Y'all have asked for them several times. This is a product review channel. Here's my Galactic Gregs. I did 3 or 4 videos here yesterday, I believe. Here is my Serenity Soothing Sounds. Y'all check these guys out. Guys, check these channels out. All right, guys, so we're going to go back over here now, and we're going to kind of look at the weather and such a little bit, and we're going to call it a night. So we're going to come over here and go to windy. As my friends in Arizona are telling me how bad it is, we're going to go there. We're going to look up in Alberta. Arnold Smith's at. Oh, yeah, snowflake is right on the edge of the snow. Not presently snowing right in Snowflake, according to this, but south and west of it is. 23 in snow. Oh, no, 25 in Snowflake. That's Sholo. Excuse me, that's Sholo there. Pardon me. Sholo's a nice little mountain retreat town with big trees. Snowflake, and get out of town. There ain't much in the way of trees. It's mostly mesquite bushes. Got the Painted Desert up here and the Petrified Forest, and over here's Grand Canyon. But down here's beautiful mountains. There's Indian reservations, a lot of land and reservation. Down there's a big city of Phoenix. So there it is, guys. Whiskey Tango Foxtrot, welcome. Marvin Funtime. That always makes me think of Marvin Furniture. When I see Marvin Funtime, I think of Marvin Furniture. We had a Marvin's Furniture in Albertville when I was a kid. I guess it's still there. The stool the teacher sit on collapsed, no support. Well, yeah. It's raining here in southeast Arizona. Okay, Sophia. Check that out. You got mix. You got to mix. Some places it's raining, some it's snowing. You got to mix. Rain there. Rain around Phoenix. You ever been getting a lot of precip in Arizona? Man, it'll start blooming. My 40 acres might be a very blooming place here this spring. All right, we got rain up in North Texas, the panhandle of Oklahoma, panhandle of Texas. Kansas, right down the middle of Kansas. I've been through here, been into Salina. Southern Missouri. No, that's Nebraska. Pardon me, Missouri's over here. That's Nebraska. We got up into the Dakotas, eastern Montana, southern Idaho, very northern part of Utah, middle of snow, middle of Nevada. Now, see, I used to come up and stay in Ogden a lot. So Ogden's got snow. Salt Lake City's got snow. I drive up to Promontory. They got snow. And I've driven in Utah when there's been a lot of snow around. There was a while I was going there a lot. Let's check Alberta. No snow in Alberta. Yeah, got a lot of it's below freezing in Alberta. That's negative in the Fahrenheit range. Freezing in the centigrade range is 0. It's 32 in our range. So this is several degrees below the freezing, guys. So it is getting a bit chilly in Alberta. Delta Junction is 7 degrees. Fairbanks is 10. Anchorage is 14. 14, 7, 7, 14, 10. Yep, Delta Junction is cooler than the rest. And Fort Greely will be a little cooler still. All right, where do we want to go? Who's in the room? Norway? We got Norway in the house. I thought I saw Norway earlier. Maybe that was on my other channel. It was on the other channel. Pretty chilly in Norway. You get around the sea, it's 20s, 25, 26. It's just below freezing. You get interior, you get below. You have to go far, you get to minus degrees. Finland is socked in with snow, southern Finland. All right. A little snow in Ukraine, the western side. Turkey and Greece are on the verge of war, guys. And so is, let's see, Yugoslavia. Well, not Yugoslavia. It's now Serbia. I think Croatia are on the verge of having a war between them too. And India and China have gone at it. They've had another fisticuff here last few days. So not pretty a picture in the world, guys. So back off and look at the pattern of it all. Hang on, guys. Bud girl. Chicago here. Hi, Mud Girl. How you doing? Krampus want to visit you. Well, I think I got it from Wiesel. Krampus is the bad one, right? I got Wiesel. All right, Wiesel. I read your card over in Green Graves in the video we just did over there. Yeah, pretty good earthquake down here. Check that out, guys. A 3.0 in Macon, Oklahoma. Oklahoma been getting a fair bit lately. Santa Fuca Plate been getting a bunch. 2.9. San Andres, 2.9. Puerto Rico's always rocking. It's sort of up here in the middle of Alaska. It's always around Lucian's. Excuse me, guys. This is a very earthquake-prone area right in here. They've had some horrendous earthquakes. Here's where Krakatoa is. Krakatoa is right there, guys. Afghanistan. No strange earthquakes. 4.3. Right here from Greece and Turkey. 4.4. 4.4 before they launched the war. Go down here to South America. There's a big one. 5.5. All righty. Enough of the earthquake stuff. Space weather. All right. A lot of sunspots. Most of them aren't that big. Except this one right here, this group is growing. This one could go dangerous on us. It's growing real fast. And I ain't designated a number to it yet, but it's growing really fast, I think. So they got circled there. Gemini meteor shower coming up the 13th and 14th of December, 30 meteors per hour. That means 1 every 2 minutes. You got to go out and see that. Aurora's pretty bright. S-class sun flares are down, and they're down to 20% up here and 10 down here. Yeah, okay, it's a lot better. No asteroids predicted to come between the Earth and the Moon. None they know of. So that's all good news. There's always some good news. Go over here and subscribe to my Soilhead channel, some other channels. All right, we're going to stop the share. Halo. Krakatoa caused 2 cold summers, wiping out crops around the world and blackening the skies. Yeah, it's thought to cause that really bad winter. And was it 549 AD or something like that? That practically destroyed the Roman Empire. It's considered the worst year in history. But in the volcano Tambora went off, and I believe it was 1816, and it caused the year without a summer around the world too, more recently, and that was a really bad time. They claim even in Alabama we had frost in June, and a lot of people were getting their corn, their crops frozen out. So people had a tough time that year. All right, let's see. These folks got to say, all right, really fix it. Be careful. Just don't get too far out there with innuendo. This is a family channel. But you've been with us for a long time. So let's be nice. Yeah, let's see how many we got in room. 50, but only 39 thumbs up. Help me, guys. Let's see, 1815. Okay, there we go. That sounds right. It did take a couple years for that to take effect. I don't know what. Jason Smith's in the house. How you doing, Jason? What about Wilbarger, Arnold? All right, who's banned for life on Wilbarger's channel? Probably a bunch of people. John, 1883 to 1886 or so was a long winters due to Krakatoa. Yeah, Krakatoa had that eruption. That one was actually, the news of it was transmitted via telegraph all over the world. And that was a horrendous explosion because there were people in the islands there and Sumatra and Java. It blew their eardrums out. I mean, they were just a compression wave was so strong from the explosions that it caused physical damage to people. There were tsunamis that went inland. They carried ships 2 or 3 miles inland. It was horrendous, very horrendous. A lot of people just died from drowning. And if you think about that earthquake, it happened on it was a Boxer Day or was it Christmas earthquake that occurred in Boniachi back in early 2000s. It killed quite a few people. Hey, Frozen, I did a video talking about the climate bug. You need to see that. Dutch and Javanese, 36,000. Yeah, it took out a lot of people. Now, the only reason the one in Boniachi was worse is because there was more people out there. There wasn't as many people in the late 1800s around there. I mean, there was a lot, but not as many. Anyway. Oh, you're asking, Willie Fix-It got banned by Lee. Okay. When Oahu had the landslide, it flushed out Los Angeles like a toilet bowl. Hey, I did a video with Rex Bears sitting up on the Hollywood Mountain, you know, where the Mount Hollywood tunnel's at, and the Griffith Observatory's up there. And I looked out over the valley there and saw, look, 22, you know, over 20 million people here, and a tsunami would take them all out, or an earthquake that caused the interstates to cave in. He said if that happened, you'd have a bowl of people in here with no resources, starving to death. All the highways would be cut off, rail lines would be cut off. I mean, you might get planes in and out, maybe some ships, but they'd be in a really bad pickle. A really bad pickle. So I wouldn't want to be in Los Angeles when it hit the fan. If I was, I'd want to be at least the ones up, you know, at the edge of the mountains there might can get out before the hordes hit them. But then they got to trek across the desert. Anyway. What channel is it on, Greg? Must not have seen. It's on this channel, actually. I'll show it to you guys. Hang on a minute. I'll do a share. Share screen. Ding, 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 ding. Here we are, guys. Oh, that's this. Hang on. I need to share a different screen. Stop share. Sharing the chat screen. Hang on. I got to share a different screen. Give me one momentum, please. I got to find the right spot to go to. Just give me a moment. I'm going to have to call it up. Oh, I got to bring it up. Give me a second. Yeah, I can't do it on the chat screen. So I used to keep that chat screen hidden. I watch this chat screen on Boxing Day 2024 9.2 earthquake. It's on Banda Aceh, Sumatra, 60 miles off northwest coast, 100-foot tsunami. Oh yeah, 250,000 dead. I kind of think that probably the one with Krakatoa would have taken out even more people if it had occurred today with all the people down there. Actually close to comfort. Oh, here's my uncle camping. Had to haul down the mountain. Oh, so let's do this. Let's do. Give me a second. I gotta pull this channel up. Give me a minute. Take me a minute to pull this up, guys. Hang on. I'm going there, but there in a second. Show the video to watch. Your channel. All right. Now we're going to do the share screen again. Let's come back to the right screen to do the share screen. Here we are. Hey, Lou. Hang a rocket from a balloon and off we go. Here we go, guys. And you come into a computer, it'll look different on phones. So go ahead and use. This is what you're going to see. My on this channel, since I did shorts first, they're on top. These shorts are all little political readings I did a few weeks ago, and most of them are done with a sense of humor, but they do have a sharp jab to them in the world of the political side. So if you're not watched these videos, I highly encourage you to watch them. They're only a minute each, so you can go through them in a lickety split. I've got one upload, but now we got some lives. So what we got to do is when you come in here, go click on live. Like that. So I got several live sessions on here. So what you want to do is come to this one. Too little CO2 to end life on Earth, according to scientists. Yeah. Having too little CO2 is going to put us in great peril in the future. And I also talk about things like how it was so much warmer 2 million years ago that we had mastodons feasting in lush forests and meadows in northern Greenland, when Greenland was actually green, but only 2 million years ago. And how that was just a little way down the scale from where the temperatures had been previously. I showed the temperature charts over the last, 450 million years, guys. And these people are telling you that we're all going to die because everything's going to boil if the temperature just goes up a little bit. They got no basis for that, guys. No basis other than they're trying to control people politically. That's all it's about. I don't think anybody did cha-cha. What happened, cha-cha? I knew what I was breathing at the time. I was young and didn't realize. I need photos. Oh yeah, plants will start dying. Actually, they were close to that in the ice age. You got down to 180 toward the end of the ice age, 180 million or parts per million. You got to have CO2. And our CO2 isn't really, CO2 has been way higher. Actually, for plants, they seem to be optimum at 12 to 1400 parts per million, which is way above where we're at today, which means that's where the world used to be. And it wasn't the end of the world. All right, if oxygen gets too rich, we're going to have dragonflies with 6-foot wingspans again. That's true, but I don't think we'll have the pressure in our atmosphere to get us there. But yeah, that's what I was talking about the other night on here. Mount St. Helens. Oh, yeah, that was rough. All righty, so I've shown you this video here. Too little CO2 to end life on Earth, according to science. Y'all need to watch this, as I cover other stuff in there. And you'll actually see the web page. There you go, Survival Tribe Network. That's our action center for the Freedom Restoration Foundation. All righty, guys. What I'm going to do, I may actually, I have to paste this channel on this channel because you're already on this channel. You're already here. All right, guys, let me stop the share. All you got to do is back out and go look at the videos. You'll see that video. But you got to type videos and look at the live sessions. I really want a 6-foot dragonfly. Wow, you might ride it. Hop on it and go. Like a sky motorcycle. Sky horse. Just being silly, guys. All righty, guys. Well, it's 1:30. Let's end this video now instead of dragging on all night like we were often doing. People appreciate when the videos are shorter, so they're more inclined to watch them later. So what in capitulation, what we talked about was how the crowd bullied Elon Musk, and that was mainly because they've been so sold over to the concepts of the left, which came principally through Chinese Communist Party funding to the tune of billions of dollars to American universities. So that's what, and they also influence our social media a lot too. So between all that, yeah, it's been rough. And Whiskey Tango Foxtrot said it right. Good night, Greg. I love to ride a dragon. Well, you might get to ride a dragonfly if it's big enough. Arnold said, not true. The Earth's atmosphere pressure needs to be 60 psi at sea level. Needs to be. They need denser air. Yeah, well, it's 14.7 psi. Probably used to be 60. And what I'm saying is we lose atmospheric pressure continuously over the geological history as we have impacts from comets. They knock a little bit of the atmosphere off. And that may be why our temperature has been going down for 65 million years. The temperature line is downwards. I've shown that in those charts on that video. Go watch it there. We ain't got no plans to die. That's why we're here on this channel. We're here to help you survive, thrive, and stay out of the hive. And the hive is kind of Borg-like. That's why we talked about that in the last video on the green grids. Wait on someone invent the oxygen, the oxyfartal, oh, whatever, torch. I don't want a pickle. Or about being in a pickle. All right, guys, I think we're done. I think we're going to stick a fork in this tonight. Everybody pray for, y'all say a prayer down when you go to bed for New Days Always. She didn't join us tonight. Hey, Sophia, say a prayer for Randy Blythe, We Bottled Bunny Farm too, and for Granny Lana. Granny's not with us, is she? For Granny Lana and her granddaughter. Granny was with us on the other channel. You hear Granny? Anyway, thank you everybody for watching. I really appreciate y'all being here. And with that,